there is Christmas dinner. Hey guys. Hey guys. Yeah. Guys, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say your Christmas dinner. Okay? Go, go, go. These things are aggressive. Alright guys, forest in the sky rant time. Hold on to your socks. We spent a few nights in the Forest in the Sky resort. This is supposed to be a 5-star resort and it's in the north of Hanoi in the Phuoc Yen region. The place is nice and has a lot of potential, and I cannot say we didn't enjoy our stay there because we did. However, maybe my expectations were too high, but when I pay for 5-star prices and choose a resort based on the sales pitch that we are a 5-star resort, I expect 5-star service, or at least 5-star standards, right? Or maybe that's just me. From the moment we got there, I was dubious about the place. Taking the 2-hour drive from Hanoi was fine, and we got there a little late, around 7 PM. The very first sight we were greeted with when we got into the hotel was the sign with the letter R missing from the word resort, making it read the Flamingo Resort. Now, it's just a small thing, and it's clearly, in hindsight, indicative of things to come. But at that time, I was like, okay, benefit of the doubt. Maybe the letter had just gone out that day and they were getting it fixed the next day. Maybe. But you can't tell me that not one member of staff noticed it and not one other guest noticed it, and for sure, it wasn't a very reassuring sight for a first-time guest arriving to stay there. So I was like, okay, small issue, no worries, brush it off. The place looks nice and it's all Christmassy and it's all lit up. We'll ignore that and move on. We're here for a nice time. So we check in and it's all good. We show them our passports, we sign some stuff, we pay a deposit, they give us our key cards, and then they disappear. I mean, literally everyone from the reception disappears. Nobody tells us where to go, and we're just standing there. Now, I mean, normally in a hotel it's probably pretty obvious where to go. The elevators are usually down the end of the lobby and, you just go up to the floor you're on. But this is a resort. The place is massive and there are villas, huts, bungalows, as well as the surrounding apartments in the hotel. So we mill around with our luggage, waiting to see if anyone comes back or offers some help. They don't. So we end up going outside to ask the guard, who doesn't speak English by the way, to show us where our room is. And this is where it got weird. The guard takes us into the building and heads down the massive lobby to the bar, past the bar and to the elevators at the bottom. We were a little confused by this as we had paid for a villa with a private swimming pool. We expected to be going outside and this is not where we were going. We got shown to a room on the 4th floor, which although admittedly was quite nice and decent, it was not a standalone villa with a private swimming pool. So, we're kind of confused now. We're rechecking our booking with trip.com and sure enough it says room type 1 bed villa sky. And the picture is a villa with a private swimming pool. So we go back downstairs and we wait for the receptionist to turn up again. The reception staff, although very polite, were barely interested in our story. They merely shrugged and said, it's Trip.com's fault because they had the wrong picture and apparently the wrong description as well. We pushed back saying it was unacceptable and we had paid for the villa, etc, etc. They said they could offer us a villa but we'd have to pay extra. So we weren't doing that, so here's what bothered me. The customer service part. I mean, fair enough. It might be Trip.com's fault. Not sure, but, might be. However, we are the customer and we have been cheated out of what we expected to get. You'd expect something, some apologies or some offers, a free breakfast voucher or something, but we got nothing. Nothing. No offer, nothing. Shrugs, smiles is all we got. Annoyed now, we went back upstairs to our disappointingly private pool-free room. Once there, we decided we wanted to hire a room, so we went back down to ask if they could swap us. This time, they obliged us. So at this point, it was getting late and we were hungry. Oh, and just while I remember, every other hotel I've been to in the last year has made special effort for us, as I've always said it's our anniversary, even when it's not. So even the small 3-star hotels did some nice things like roses, chocolates, flowers, petals, swan towels, that sort of thing. Forest in the Sky, highly expensive 5-star resort, nothing. Oh, it gets better. It doesn't stop there. So, we are hungry, we had no dinner all night, and it was about 8:30 this time, and there was only one restaurant open. It was called the Bamboo Restaurant. It was a short golf cart ride away, and it looked gorgeous. It was wrapped around a small lake with a band playing in the middle. They were loudly blasting out Christmas songs like Michael Jackson and ABBA. And there was a few families spread out, and the place was obviously built for peak season, maybe 200 seats. There were around 20 people though in the place, dotted around, and it was a Thursday night in off season, so we settled in a nice little area next to the lake and waited. And waited. And waited. After chatting for about 15-20 minutes, I started looking around. There was a family nearby who were getting served. I tried to call the waitress, who looked at me sideways and walked away. We waited another 7 to 10 minutes, and then I started waving at waitresses who were standing by the entrance looking bored. One of them shuffled over to us warily, like she was unsure of what we could possibly be wanting, and I said, "Hey, can I have a menu please?" She stood still, head tilted, looking nonplussed. I repeated this and did the universal sign for opening a menu. She looked shocked and walked away, returning, holding a menu and pointing at it, looking confused. She was surprised that we could possibly want a menu. I said yes. She looked even more confused. I held up my hand. She gave it to me very, very slowly and then backed away. It was so weird. So weird. How could I possibly want a menu when I'm sitting in a restaurant for 25 minutes? At this point, I was past hangry. I was ready to explode. We selected our stuff really quickly, because we were hungry, and looked around for the staff again. 2 waitresses nearby literally stood there looking at me waving and did not move an inch. Eventually, one wandered over, again really warily and looking pissed off and grumpy. She barely listened to my order, and then she wrote it all down on her hand. It was amazing. I was in literal disbelief. I told her 5 times what I wanted, and I was pretty sure she scribbled it down wrong on her hand, and guess what? When the food came out, it was wrong. I had ordered ribs, and I got oxtail instead. I sent it back, I got my ribs after another 20 minutes, we ate, and we got the hell out of that place. Shame, as the food was decent and the setting was nice. It was getting late and we were knackered, so we headed back for the night. This was our first few hours here, and it felt like we had fought in a bunch of wars. Hopefully, the next days will be better.
So, 7:30 in the morning, and construction upstairs in a 5-star hotel. There's construction. I came to the countryside to get away from it, and still above me someone has a drill. Annoying.
7 a.m. construction, 7 a.m. karaoke, grumpy, 5-star you say? Anyway, the buffet for breakfast was thankfully in a different restaurant, and it was actually good. We ate and we spent the day exploring. The place is nice, guys. It's really nice. Wildflower gardens, fields, woodland areas with art exhibitions, installments all over the place, and huge lake areas where you can have weddings, work functions, and there's a farm with turkeys. It's nice. We rode around on bikes that we hired from the hotel and we relaxed. This part of the stay was good, and it was worthy of that 5-star experience that it says it has, although it was just because the land was nice. We even saw the villas that we were supposed to be staying in, and they looked really nice too. The best part of the day was the crazy turkeys. Those guys made me laugh. Such weird animals, and much bigger than I thought. They were sure to be on the Christmas dinner menu. The stay here was a mixed bag. Despite the rant, we enjoyed our time here, and if it wasn't for the shitty service and standards, it would have been great. Oh, just while I remember, they also put charges on all the bills. Every single bill we had was charged an extra 15%, 5% for service fee and 10% for tax. Quite sneaky, and it adds up after a few dinners, so watch out. Anyway guys, if you do go here, I hope you have a better experience than we did. Take it easy, bye now.
There's a big fat pigeon right here. Look at the size of this pigeon. Hey, big boy. He's a big fatty. Look at this big fat boy. Oh, nope, too fat, doesn't even want to fly away.